What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of the women's Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Premium in this Designed by Japan colorway. Today's video is sponsored by Capsule. Capsule is a brand new product on the market which aims to preserve and extend the life of your sneakers by up to 2 times. They target the 2 main reasons why your shoes age, fade, and crumble over time, which is hydrolysis and oxidization. So it's a very simple process. They offer these UV protected pods, which are airtight, and that's what you seal your shoes inside. And then the secret sauce comes in the form of a cartridge. So this is what you push and inject into the pod, which not only pushes out the bad air containing the dirt and the oxygen, but it also pushes in that secret formula, which contains a preservative that's the key to preserving the life of your sneakers. So this is best used, in my opinion, for shoes that you wear more sparingly, maybe those grail type sneakers that you wear maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and then the rest of the time they're just literally sitting on your shelf in a box. So I know you might be a little bit skeptical. I was too at first before I tried it myself, but you can check out their website and their socials, which I've linked down below. It's all scientifically backed. And they also recently started up Capsule Club, which is a subscription-based service where you're able to get the pods, the cartridges, all that good stuff for a discounted price. So if you think this is something that you're gonna want on an ongoing basis, and who doesn't love to save money, check out their Capsule Club program as well. So this shoe is the latest in Nike's Designed by Japan series. If you remember, I reviewed the Air Max 1 last year, but this year it's the Zoom Vomero 5's turn. So these released a few weeks back in May, and they retailed for a price of $180 US, which is roughly 250 Canadian dollars converted. Unfortunately, as of right now, no Canadian retailers have gotten this shoe, so I had to pick these up on the secondary market. The official colorway for this shoe is pale ivory, black, light bone, pale vanilla, and Aquarius blue. And just by looking at the silhouette, it looks very different from your typical Nike Zoom Vomero 5. You'll see throughout this review it incorporates a lot of vintage touches, paying homage to Bill Bowerman, the co-founder of Nike, and the Nike Waffle Moon shoe. So diving into the details of this shoe, as we start things off with the toe box, instead of your typical mesh or nylon on the usual Zoom Vomero 5, the toe on this pair is covered in genuine leather. So this is done in this off-white or slightly cream color, and then overlaid on top of the toe box we have this genuine suede, which has a bit more of a shaggy, long-haired feel to it, and this also covers the front toe cap where we have this embroidery on either side. Covering the U-throw area of the shoe, the suede here is done in this vintage style with these pointy frills on the edges. In the middle of the shoe, instead of your typical TPU cage which your normal Zoom Vomero 5 has, for this pair it incorporates a flat TPU layer where it's connected to this middle eyelet, which is done in this blue color with these reflective hits along the center. And then overlaid on the sides of the shoe we have this oversized giant Nike swoosh, which is crafted using a tumbled black leather. Moving next to this we have more of that same suede with that embroidery running across, and then surrounding the top portion of the ankle collar area we have that genuine leather once again. Beneath this, covering the heel, we have more suede, and then underneath this, we have this brown colored TPU heel cup, which gives you structure and support for the back end of the shoe. In the center, we have this blue colored swoosh embroidered in the middle, and we have another pull tab on the top, also with this reflective layer running down the center. As far as the laces go, so these come with 2 different lace options. The standard lace that they come with are these oval shaped laces in white, but they also come with a secondary white colored lace, this one having light blue colored detailing along the edges. Underneath this we have this padded nylon tongue, which is done in this off-white color. Running down the center of the tongue we have this woven strip with this reflective layer running down the middle, and then on the top of the tongue we have this rectangular tag with Nike Vomero 5 branding, along with another pull tab here as well. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is lined in nylon. And then as far as the insoles go, these come with your typical foam lined insole, and it features an image of Bill Bowerman himself, again the co-founder of Nike, along with the Nike swoosh and Designed by Japan branding found on the heel. So the upper of the Zoom Vomero 5 sits atop this Cushlon foam midsole, which is painted in a combination of this vintage looking cream color on the bottom and this light blue color along the top. Encased within the shoe we have Nike Zoom Air both underneath the forefoot as well as underneath the heel of the sneaker, and on the lateral heel these pods are painted in this light gray color. Finally, for the outsole, so this is your typical Zoom Vomero 5 outsole, but it's crafted out of a mix of black and gum rubber. So we have that same waffle style traction pattern on the forefoot, along with these grooves to give you added flexibility, And then in the middle, we have this dark blue colored TPU shank plate, which is there to help with torsional rigidity and mid-foot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so keep in mind this is released as a women's shoe. So to get your men's size equivalent, you'd go up 1.5 sizes. So for me, I wear true to size for the Zoom Vomero 5, and my true size is a size 10. So I got these in a women's 11.5. If you're, for example, a men's 8.5, you'd be getting these in a women's 10. So generally speaking, these do run pretty true to size. I find that they are a little bit more narrow than a typical men's Zoom Vomero 5, but once I really wore these in and broke them in, say after a couple of hours, it really wasn't that noticeable anymore. So I feel like if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot, just go with your normal Zoom Vomero 5 size, which should be true to size. But if you have a really wide foot, you might be better off going up a half size, because I did find that these were a little bit more narrow than normal. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel like any other Zoom Vomero 5, which in my opinion is an extremely comfortable sneaker. It's a very well-balanced sneaker. You're gonna feel a decent amount of softness to it, but there's a lot of springiness to it as well, with this Zoom Air both underneath the forefoot as well as underneath the heel. So you're never gonna feel like it's too soft and mushy. You're gonna feel a lot of that responsiveness and bounce back. And it's a model that I swear by. I leave a couple of pairs by the door, and the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 has basically been one of those daily shoes that I wear just to run errands in, to go to work. It's just trusted and true when it comes to the comfort. So I'd say that you can expect the same for this pair as well. Last but not least, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so this I gotta say was quite elevated compared to a typical Nike Zoom Vomero 5. Like I mentioned in the beginning, they replaced a lot of the synthetic materials, the nylons, the meshes, and they actually incorporate genuine leathers on this shoe. So this was a very welcome upgrade. It is quite different from your typical Zoom Vomero 5, so I had to get a little bit used to this. In some ways, it almost felt like an entirely brand new silhouette, just because they also incorporate a lot of those old school touches, references, or callbacks to the Nike Waffle Moon shoe. But I was very pleased with the material quality, and the overall build of the shoe, this was a little bit disappointing. So while the upper of the shoe, specifically the panels and the stitch job, was solid, I noticed that the paint job on the midsole was pretty bad. So you can see here on the midsole how this blue paint, it's bleeding onto the cream paint underneath. So this is just one example of it, but it was quite noticeable on both my left and right feet. So hopefully, I don't know if I just got unlucky, but hopefully if you're picking these up on the secondary market and you don't have the chance to see your specific pair, hopefully the paint job on your pair is a little bit better. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, this is a more premium and a unique departure from your typical Zoom Vomero 5. If you're someone that's a fan of the silhouette normally, I feel like you'll really enjoy this shoe. It really feels like a special edition version, which it is. And I've seen some people jokingly call this a Virgil Abloh take, what would have been an off-white Zoom Vomero 5, which I can kind of see that in many respects. But hype aside, I think if you're looking for a comfortable, stylish sneaker for the summer, this is a solid option if you don't mind paying the secondary market prices, because I believe most big sizes are completely gone from the websites. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know, what do you guys think of this shoe? Are you feeling this retro inspired design, or do you prefer the more classic Zoom Vomero 5? Really, there's no right or wrong answer. If you guys enjoyed this video though, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8. Follow me on X at sean.go spelt out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.